What are you seeing in terms of electrification that's happening in the industry, and how is that impacting the marketplace?
Obviously, very hot topic in the industry. We work with a couple of tier two OEMs to help sell some of their electric equipment. We do that because there's no used electric market right now because it's all so new. But let's say for the dynamic that we see for electrification today is that the ESG and the environmental goals are really being pushed into the industry by regulators and by owners/builders, right? So you've got the Amazons and the Apples of the world that have net zero targets who are enforcing that on their general contractors, and that tends to like bubble down to the subcontractors too, right? So that's how I think the industry is adopting this equipment. I would say that there's still there's a ton of challenges with electrification infrastructure, right? If you're a facilities business, like a recycling facility or aggregates plant, and you've already got access to power, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, right? It's pretty easy to park the machine and charge it over a lunch break. An undeveloped job site that may not have the sort of, the access to infrastructure, it's still very, very challenging, right? I heard a great example from one of our partners the other day trying to run an electric telehandler from one side of a stadium project to the other. After 4 trips, the battery's dead, right? It's still really challenging for folks on undeveloped job sites, but that is changing. From a rental equipment perspective, I think the rental fleets are buying electric equipment to help satisfy these requirements, but there's also some very attractive side benefits, right?
Yeah.
Reduction in maintenance costs. We're approaching parity between electrical and, IC engines on power profiles now, right? So you've got, electrically driven hydraulic motors that can perform just as well as one of their internal combustion engine counterparts. You've got better noise profile. For indoor applications, you've got lower emissions. So there's a lot of side benefits to it that I think the rental equipment companies are realizing right now. But infrastructure still is the challenge. I think where we get to this very long term is you're not going to see 100% electric fleet. You're probably going to see a mix of clean diesel, potentially hydrogen in some circumstances, but I think that still is very infrastructure dependent too. And then a lot of electrical equipment for when the infrastructure is there to support them.